Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you're curious about what this is or you have got a bit lost. Welcome everyone, I'm Chatty, this is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm gonna be finally chatting away madly about Journeyathon 2. So this is my readathon. It's its second year, hence the 2, of me doing it. I wasn't able to do it last year because of life stuff, but I'm so pleased to actually be doing it this year. It's very cobbled together. It's not as perfect as we would like, but the important thing is that I am doing it. It's a middle grade inspired readathon, but you don't have to only read middle grade. I encourage you to read middle grade, and you only need to read one middle grade book. The rest you can just join in and have fun as you want to. And the whole point of this is for it to be fun and joyful. This is my creative outlet, and this is what I want to do to give a spark of joy in the world, because at the moment it's all a little bit, it's not great. So hopefully this will give you some fun to be having. So with this readathon, it is based on a map. So I have the Journeyathon map, sort of. It's still work in progress, even at this late stage, but I'm sharing with you the bits I have, and then hopefully before I upload this video, if not, I will write it in the description box coming soon, the map will be available for you to look at. There is also going to be all the information you need about the readathon in a Google document. If you have been following and you have seen, I have put the Google document available for you in other videos I have done recently that mention Journeyathon. I have already put all the prompts and things in there, so you could have had a little head start if you wanted to. But I will be going through all the prompts and everything you need to know. This can be as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. It is entirely your choice. You can be as involved or as little involved as you want to. I want to make sure there's something for everyone in it, and that we can all join in and have fun. So this will be taking place in the first couple of weeks of July, specifically starting on Monday the 30th of June at midnight, which is also Tuesday the 1st of July at 0000 hours, and it will be finishing on Wednesday the 16th of July at midnight, which is Thursday the 17th of July, 0000 hours. All of this is UK time, but feel free for me, but you can do it in your own time zones. That's completely fine. I will go through the rules and all of that jazz, but there is no readathon police. I don't actually care. There's no points. This is just for you. So you can break the rules if you want to. That's completely fine. I do have a Discord, which will be linked in the description. So if you want more readathon chat and involvement and answer questions, like that is where I put a lot of stuff. And that is kind of like where I base myself in and from, and a lot of the input into this readathon has come from that Discord Middlegrade Mad Chat. So if you do want to be involved, have a little click and come and join us. It's lots of fun. I need to stop kicking the chair the camera is balanced on because I'm making it wobble. Okay, so I realise I haven't done my little gimmick, so I'm going to do that now. I'm aware this could be chaos, so please, I mean, it's my future, but it will be the past by the time this posts. But anyway, give me happy thoughts that this all works and goes well, because I have very, very limited time to actually film this in. So cheers, everyone. It is one shot. There is no editing, only the power of pause in this video for me to hopefully explain exactly what's going on with this readathon. So get your imaginary teacups or your real teacups and clink, 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 clink. Cheers. Okay. So, this readathon I'm going to demo by holding the previous Journeyathon's map up as an example. So we have different places inspired by children's middle grade books. So I have done a video revealing what the 4 inspiration books for this year is. I will link that in the description box, so you can find out more about those books. I'm only going to touch on them briefly in a moment. Each of those books have inspired a different path. There are 4 different paths you can take, going from Prologton here, which is a little village. It's where we start off, and we go all the way to this rather fantastic city down here, which is the city of Farye, inspired by Alice in Wonderland. So Alice in Wonderland was one of the inspiration books for the original Journeyathon because it had to be, and I have kept the original drawings done by my friend Vicky, which is Prologton and the city of Farye. The rest, because she's recently had a baby, and so I was like, you focus on that. I've done pencil drawings, so I will be interspersing those as I explain the new places, and I have incorporated them into a map on Canva. So it should all come out looking funky, maybe, but it should all be hunky-dory. I couldn't work out if I was saying hunky-dory or fine and dandy, so we got funky, which still works. And all of those places have been inspired by the inspiration books. So each book inspired 2 places on our Journeyathon map for this year, and they also inspired a mode of travel. Now, for simplicity, you can just read a middle grade. You can just go straight to the CiTea party and read a middle grade book. Or you can complete the Prologton Prompt and you can go straight to the CiTea party by one of our travel methods. Or you can choose to go following a longer journey, reading 3 or 4 or 7 books as you go. Or you can mix paths. So sometimes the paths align at one place and you could start on one path and then change to a different one. There are also going to be other items this year that you can use, but I'm going to just go for the simplistic version first, talk you through all the paths and the prompts. And then I'm going to explain a little bit more about those of you that like to make things a little bit more exciting for yourselves or more complicated. Anyone who loves journaling, I have got lots of material that you can print out and use in your books to kind of have a good old fun time with this. So I'm going to go through each of the paths now. So we have 4 different types of paths, and we have the magic path. So that is this purple one here. We have got the 3 dots with the 3 lines and a swirly thing. That is the magic path symbol. And for the magic path, we use portal travel. And that has been inspired by this book here. It is The Insiders by Mark Shiro. So for the magic path, that is the quickest way to travel, because traveling by magic will always be quicker. So for this one, if you want to use the magic path, you could just read the 1 book, you could just read 2, or you could read 3. And this we are doing via the janitor's closet door from The Insiders. So you will be taking the magic path and having the Closet Hideout Express ticket, and you can then follow the purple stars on the map and hit those different places and read those books for those prompts to kind of progress to the CiTea party. If you wish to travel a little bit longer, the next one we have is the air path. So that is this one here in blue, which is the triangle, sort of the aerodynamic shape with the whooshy lines coming from it. And for this year, I'm going to keep my head over here. We have Wilder Than Midnight by Kerry Burnell, inspiring the air path with sky travel this year. So we are going to be traveling on feathered wings from Wilder Than Midnight. And we will be flying on the feathered flight line ticket, should you wish to do the air path. And that will be reading 5 books, if you want to do that one. So we start at Prologton, we hit 3 more places and end up at the CiTea party. Then we have the Earth path, which is this one here in orange, which has got the carry on. It looks like wheat sprouting from the ground. There's a horizontal line, there's an upside down triangle, and then there's like an arc over the top, like a sunshine. So for the Earth path, that has been inspired by Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred D. Taylor. And we'll be traveling we'll be doing land travel with a wagon pulled by Jack, who I can't remember if Jack is a mule, a donkey, or a pony, but Jack is one of those beasties and is pulling the wagon, and that is how the Logan family travel around. So you'll be trotting along on Jack's wagon way with the Earth path, and that will be for 6 books. So you will be starting at Prologton, hitting 5 other prompts, and ending up at the CiTea party. If you want to do the water path, that has been inspired by Sisters of the Lost Marsh by Lucy Strange, and we will be travelling via marsh travel. So you will be wading through the marshlands on foot, and that will be the wading wander is the line you would be taking for that one. So obviously when you're on foot, it's going to take the longest. So we'll be hitting 7 prompts for this one. So it's Prologton 5. I feel like I've got lost somewhere. Yeah, so when I spoke about Earth Path, it was 4 other places. 6 books altogether for the Earth Path. So Prologton, 4 other places, and then City of Party. For the Water Path, it is Prologton, 5 other places, and the City of Party. Okay, I will go on to explain what those places are in a moment. So you can basically choose, do you think you're going to want to read 1 book? Do you think you're going to want to read 3, 5, 6? And you can kind of filter it as you like. But you can also have fun and jump around, depending which prompts you want to do. So I am going to give you a little bit of explanation about the extra things you can do. So if you are interested in doing a little bit more, I have got some hidden items around the map this year. And I'm not going to tell you what they are straight away. I'm going to be revealing where they are on the 30th of June. So you can kind of plan what you want to do and where you want to go, but you might want to change your plans later on, I don't know. Or you might want to play it where you decide where you're going to go and then you can discover the item on your way because you didn't realise it was going to be there when you made your journey, and that'll be nice and exciting. It's up to you. There is no hard and fast rule. I just thought it would be fun. So there are 4 items that will help you. So the paths don't cross as much as they did previously because I've added in these items, so you can do some lovely bits and pieces with those. I will go on to talk about the items momentarily, but what I want to talk to you about now is that there are within the prompts, there are also some It's going well. Let's have a drink of water and let's see if my mouth works. See, I told you, chaos. Okay, let's try that again. We have backpack bonuses. So as well as having prompts that link to the different ways of travel when you get to the places, there is also going to be extra prompts in a backpack bonus. So this is because if you previously did Journeyathon, I gave you points depending how much you read, and those points have become money that you can spend on items in the shop. So the shop is in Prologton. Let's have another little look at Prologton. So here we go. There's Prologton. In there is a shop called Encompass Stores. And in Encompass Stores, you could buy a backpack. You can also buy 4 other items. And those items may or may not give you a backpack bonus. But you have to have a backpack to put your other items in. Well, actually, no, you don't necessarily have to do that. You have to have a backpack to put the magical items in, and you can also put these ones in. I just like the words backpack bonus to describe these things. So as I go through and talk about the prompts, I will let you know if there's a backpack bonus there. So some places there are 2 backpack bonuses. In other places there are none. In other places there are 1. And again, I'm not going to tell you which item links to which backpack bonus. Each item you pick, there is a chance for 2 different backpack bonuses in that one. The more expensive items will be 3 backpack bonuses. So you have more of a chance coming up if you buy the more expensive item. And again, you can change your route to fit these in. You don't have to do it. You might want to ignore them. You might not like the backpack bonuses. You might prefer the regular prompts and not want to do one, and that's completely fine. I just thought it would make it a little bit interesting. So I am going to talk you through the map. I'm going to talk you through each place, and we will go through those all important prompts. And then I will return to talking about the point system, should you want to do that. And I will talk about what the mysterious magical items are that you could use to help you on your journey. We all start off at Prologton. The prompt for Prologton is to read a book with a map. If you mainly use audiobooks and it's not very clear whether or not there's a map, then you can just choose a book that has travel. So this is any book where there at the front there tends to be a map. Sometimes it's at the back, and you might find one where there's a map inside, but it is an illustration with a map. And that is all you need for Prologton, and then you can set off on your journey. If you take the Earth Path, Water Path or Air Path, you will go to Fayre Sister Hill. This is inspired by the Sisters of the Lost March. And from this, it is the hill where there is a tree on it. And there is also the fair. So I kind of combined all the things together, and you've got a hill with a tree on top and these circus tents in front of it. So that is Fair Sister Hill. And this is all about friends and sisters supporting each other, is kind of the vibe of this place. So if you choose to travel there on the air path using Sky Travel, then you will, it is a friend recommendation. So you can pick any book that has been recommended to you by a friend. If you travel on the earth path via land travel, then you have family recommendation. So again, any book recommended to you by a family member. I'd like to say extra points if it's a sister, but that would be unfair. Some people might really want sisters and not have them. So we're just family recommendation. And if you traveled there on the water path via the Marsh travel, then it is a Mad Chat recommendation. So the Mad Chat family recommendations from the Middlegrade Mad Chat Discord are 4 members who have been very chatty and vocal with me in the Discord. So Tiffany from Towering TBR. So you can find her on both BookTube and Storygraph under Towering TBR. I will link her channel in the description box. She has recommended 3 books for you. So you can pick one of those and that fulfills that prompt. I will be talking about the 3 books that Tiffany has recommended in the recommendations video that I will be doing, along with all the other recommended reads within this, and giving you a little bit more detail on those. But I do have a graphic. It is currently in the Discord, but I will add it to the Google documents as well, so you can see them. Lucia it's Lucia but with an extra couple of A's on Goodreads and in Discord has also recommended 3 books as well, so you could read one of hers. And we have Kelli from Kelli Reads a Lot, and Kelli Reads a Lot is her title for BookTube and also for Instagram, has also recommended 3 books, so you could try one of her books. And Stacy, who you can find on Instagram as My Literary Life in Finland or as SGM Lilja on Storygraph. Again, she's recommended 3 books, and I will put all of those in the description box so you can see them. I could read all of them, quite frankly. They all sound amazing. They're all very different. They did a really good job of coming up with different book titles, so you have a range of exciting ones in there to read. So we all love a good middle grade. Well, I love a good middle grade recommendation. So we're going to move on now to the next place on the map. So if you wanted to go to Prologton, but you wanted to travel on the magic path, you will end up somewhere else. This is the Hideaway Snug, and this has been inspired by the Insiders. So the Hideaway Snug has been inspired by the Insider's closet that Hector discovers and becomes like a little hideout for him. And I've totally lost my page. Yay, it's going well. So it's a magical janitor's closet. So this cupboard or closet is a safe space. So that is kind of the theme of these prompts. So if you've got here via portal travel on the magic path, then you would read, you would have a safe genre. So choose a book from a genre that you love reading from. So any book in that genre is fine, ideally middle grade. So then you get to enjoy one of your favourite types of books. So nice and simple for that one. Then we have, if you arrived here from a different route, so you can also get to the Hideaway Snug on the Earth Path via land travel. So you could do the Safe Challenge. So that is thinking of a genre you don't usually read from and challenging yourself to read from, because this space is safe, so you feel okay to challenge yourself doing it. And we have a backpack bonus here. So something you have bought might entitle you to a backpack bonus. So this one is Safe Fate. And this is where you have a choice of 6 different genres. You could have mystery, historical, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, or contemporary. And you could spin a wheel or roll a dice to pick a genre and read a book from that genre.
Next we have the Logan land, which has been inspired by Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry.
So this place was inspired by the farmland belonging to the Logan family. This is a place of pride. It's a place of preserving their heritage and their achievements, because it's been a really difficult thing for a black family to own land in the South in the 1930s. So this is their heritage. They want to be able to have this, keep this in the family, and, you know, just like everyone else, be able to farm their own land. So for the prompts for this one, you can only access this on the Earth path. So you have to travel via land for this one. And that is doing the prompt Place of Achievement. So you need to read a book about a protagonist overcoming adversity. So this could be a personal struggle. This could be a societal struggle. So overcoming things like self-doubt, ableism, racism, anxiety, homophobia, transphobia, sexism, all of those things that you might need to be overcoming because of the way people treat you. That would count as a book for this prompt. But we do have 2 backpack bonuses here. So one item that you could buy will give you the prompt of Pride. And that is a book with an LGBTQ plus protagonist. The other backpack bonus is the prompt of Heritage. And that is taking pride in the family heritage. So exploring another culture or a history. So this could be looking at Indigenous heritage. This could be looking at Black history. This could be looking at historical books set in another country that you're not familiar with. So all of those sort of types of things, exploring culture and heritage, would count for that backpack bonus, should you wish to take it.
The Locked Tower has been inspired by Wilder Than Midnight.
So one of the 3 girls in Wilder Than Midnight is locked in a tower, so that has inspired this place. So this is all about rebelling against entrapment by appreciating travel. So again, with this one, you can only get there by one path, and this one is the air path. So you can only access this one if you travel through the sky on the wings. And for that, it is a travelled book is the prompt for this one. So this is any book that has travelled to you. So this could be, it could be a gift from someone. So someone has gifted you this book for your birthday, or just because you were feeling a bit sad and they wanted to give you something to cheer you up. So it has travelled from them to you. It could be from a library. So it has travelled from the library to you. And that would count for, like, if you use library audiobooks or ebooks, like, you don't physically need to go to the library and get it, but it's technically travelled from the library to you. So that would definitely count for this. It could be if you've been to a specific place, like you've visited a city or a, I'm trying to think, like you can sometimes buy books from like heritage places, and they have certain stories set in that time period. So if you have bought a book from a particular place and brought it home with you, it's travelled. It could also be if it's travelled from your childhood home. So if you have a book that you read as a child and brought that same book with you, or it could, a different version of it could count, but it'd be nice if it was the same one. It has travelled with you to your home, so that has travelled. We do also have a backpack bonus, and that is a travelling book. So we're not about the past anymore, it's all about the present. So this is a book that travels. So for this prompt, you can pick any book you like, go somewhere and start reading it, and that will count. So that is a nice simple prompt for you. If you are someone that finds traveling difficult, you can just travel from one room to another to read it. That would count. So yeah, you can kind of make it work for you a little bit with this one. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of freedom for this particular prompt.
Next we have Wild Rose Wood, which is inspired by Wilder Than Midnight.
So because of the woods in Wild Rose Wood and the character Wild Rose, I've created the Wild Rose Woods. Why have I made names that are really difficult for me to pronounce? That was sensible. So 2 of our inspiration books, both Wilder Than Midnight and Sisters of the Lost March, have sort of wilderness settings. So that's what these prompts are all about. So for Wild Rose Wood, losing my pages again, you can travel here by both the air path and the water path. So if you travel by air, the prompt is wild cover. So this is anything on the cover that feels wild to you. So that could be like through the colours, you think the colours look quite wild, or the pictures evoke the sense of something that's kind of wild and free. So what along those things. If you are someone that doesn't access the visuals for whatever reason, you can just use titles to give you that sense of wildness as well. If you travel here on the water path, then it is wildness title. No, wilderness. Can't read my own writing. Wilderness title is the prompt. So any book titles that have words that make you think of the wilderness, so anything about being lost or isolated or like to do with nature, that would count for this prompt. And we have a backpack bonus. So one of the items in the Encompass shop will give you this backpack bonus, which is any book that has a old or abandoned building either in the story or on the cover. So that could be an unused warehouse, it could be a castle, it could be a ruined manor house, it could be a crumbling farm, or the story could be like a really modern setting and then it's got this old like cottage that's involved in it, anything that's kind of like an old building or a kind of like dilapidated building, that kind of thing. So before we move on to our next prompt, I need to, it's not really a confession because it's fine, but my next drawing is not finished. So you'll get the gist of it, but I haven't perfected it yet, which is one of the reasons I don't currently have a map. I also don't have a printer anymore, so I can't print it out even if I did have one, because I don't edit and can't fling the pictures in, which is what I would do. But hopefully I will be able to get it all sorted so I can do the thumbnail and it will all look great. Anyway, so yeah, this one's not finished. So I do apologise to the place for not making it look its best right now.
This is The Crossing of Ways, inspired by Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry.
So essentially it's a crossroads, half coloured in with no detail, but it's fine. You get the gist and I can tell you what the prompts are. So it's all good, provided I can find the right page in my notebook, which would have been sensible before I pressed pause. But we'll get there. Here we go. We've made it. Yes. Okay. In Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, a lot of the novel happens at the crossroads. So sometimes you've got characters working out where someone's gone and then choosing a particular path on the crossroads, making a certain decision about what they're going to do and going a certain direction, which makes their decision more certain or not. So there's a lot of themes of choice within Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, and you obviously get the consequences and fallout for that. So I wanted to really highlight that idea of choice. So we're going to do some coin flipping for this one. So with Crossing of Ways, you can access this via the Earth path and the water path. So the Earth path prompt is author choice. So you can choose an author that you've read from previously and really enjoyed, or you can choose an author you have never read from before. And so with those 2 books you have, you can then assign a side of the coin to those, flip it, and then that is the book you will be reading. Very similar thing for the water path. We have series choice. So either you can finish off a series or you can start a new series. So again, flip a coin to decide. But we also have a backpack bonus. So depending on what you've bought, you might be able to access your choice. So you can either choose 2 books that you really want to read and flip a coin. Or you might be feeling like you want to challenge yourself a little bit, or you want a certain edge of danger to your coin flipping here. And you could choose a book that's going to challenge you, that you want to read, but you're a little bit nervous about it. Or a book that is it's going to be a really nice, relaxing, fun time. So you could do the challenge or the fun time coin flip. Totally up to you.
Next we have Blood Moon Marsh, which is inspired by Sisters of the Lost Marsh.
Blood Moon Marsh you can only access via water travel. And obviously this has been inspired by the spooky atmosphere of the marsh in Sisters of the Lost Marsh. And this is all about kind of like going back to get your sister, discovering kind of the root of this family curse and the father's misery. So it's all about going back. So because of that, we're going to be doing backlist book. So this is the first or second book published by an author you like. So for example, you may really enjoy, I'm just trying to think of one that I know. Michelle Harrison, you may enjoy the Pinch of Magic series, but the first book that she wrote was 13. It's the 13 Treasures series. So you would need to read either that book, or if you happen to have read that book, you could read the following book from that. So it's either the first or second book that is published. We do have a backpack bonus. And if you have this item, then you get to do a limitless backlist. So with that one, you can read any book by that author as long as it's not their most recent one published. And the next place we're visiting is also unfinished. So again, I apologise to this place for not showing it to you in all its glory.
This is the Antique Trove. So this has been inspired by the Insiders.
In the Insiders, there is an antique shop that Hector really enjoys going in. So that is what has inspired this one. Two of our inspiration books, The Insiders and Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, both have school settings. So I'm going to link this to maths or math. So if you got here via the magic path, then we're going to be doing Power of 3 as the prompt. So there are 3 friends in The Insiders. There are 3 family members in Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. So 3 is like a good number to try these things with. So you need to read a book that has got something to do with the number 3. So we could end on the last page in the book could have a 3 at the end. That would count. The final chapter could end on a 3, like it could be chapter 33 or chapter 23 or chapter 53. There could be 3 words in the title. There could be 3 of the same object on the cover. They don't have to be identical, like it could be 3 completely different coloured walking sticks, or it could be 3 completely different coloured sweets or different shaped sweets. But as long as there's 3 of them, that would count. And then getting here via the water path, we have the power of 6 because there are 6 sisters in Sisters of the Lost Marsh. So again, similar thing. End on a book that finishes on the page ending in 6. So it could be 426. It could be 606. That would feel like that would be extra points. It could be 236. As long as it ends on a 6, it would count. Or the chapter ends on a 6. Or there's 6 words in the title. Or there are 6 objects that are the same on the front cover. You also get a backpack bonus should you have picked this item, and that is notice numbers. So for this one, it has anything to do with numbers. So it could be numbers on the cover, like if there's a clock or a watch on the front cover of that book. The chapters could just be numbered and not have any written title heading for them. It could have a title with a number in the title. All of those things would count.
And finally, you will end up at the City of Party.
So it doesn't matter which path you travel on for this one, you can get to the City of Party any which way, and all the prompts are the same, and that is to read a middle grade book. Mood read a middle grade, that's all you need to do. So like I said at the beginning, if you just want to keep it really simple, you can just portal travel through the closet straight to the City of Party and read a middle grade and you're done. There are a couple of backpack bonuses though, so if you want to add a little bit of extra fun and you have these items, you can. So you could do a title book mood read. So you can pick out 8 different book titles, ideally well, they'd have to be middle grade because this is the one that has to be a middle grade. So 8 different middle grade titles, and you could put them all in a jar. You could do a little pet pick and put little pet treats on top of the books. Whatever way you want to do it. You can do a number generator. You just randomly pick one book title and that's the one you read. The other backpack bonus is a prompt. So you can just pick a prompt. So you could pick, if there are prompts you haven't done, you could put those in a jar. Ideally 8. So if just because I like the number 8 and it's like different points on a compass. So pick out 8 different prompts. And again, however you want to do it, randomly pick one of them and then fulfill that prompt with a book. And there you go, you're sorted. So those are all the places that we travel to on Journeyathon. So like I said, you could just do the prompt of the path you're following, but you can use a backpack bonus if you have points and want to do so. So I will quickly kind of go through, because it is a little bit all over the place, because I haven't got a visual for you. I will go through, should you wish to follow a specific path, I will tell you which places you hit for that one. So the magic path using portal travel, you can either just go straight to the City of Party, you can do Prologton City of Party, you could do Prologton Hideaway Snug, then City of Party, or Prologton Antique Trove City of Party. For the air path on Sky Travel with the feathery wings, you can do Prologton, then you would go to Fair Sister Hill, then you would go to the Lock Tower, then you would go to Wild Rose Wood, then you fly to the City of Party. So that is 5 prompts that you do, so 5 books you would read for that one. For the Earth path, if you wanted to follow the Earth path with land travel with Jack the donkey mule pony, you would again start at Prologton, travel to Fair Sister Hill, travel to Logan Land, travel to the Hideaway Snug, travel to the Crossing of Ways, and then travel to the City of Party. And for that, you would have 6 prompts to fulfill and read 6 books. For the water path, you would again start at Prologton, travel to Fair Sister Hill, travel to Wild Rose Wood, travel to Blood Moon Marsh, travel to Crossing of Ways, travel to Antique Trove, and then finally you would wade to the City of Party to celebrate the fact that you have done 7 prompts and read 7 books. Well done you. Now, I did mention that there are some items that you can collect along the way. So if you follow the magic path, you will find one of those magical items. If you follow the air path, you will find 2 of those magical items. If you follow the earth path, you will find 3 of those magical items. And if you follow the water path, you will find 2 of those magical items. But you don't have to stick to one path, you can cross over. And I'm going to tell you now what those magical items are. So there is a doorknob, and this is from the Insiders by Marcus Shiro. It's the doorknob to the janitor's closet. So if you find the doorknob on your travels, you can open a door to somewhere else. So you can transport yourself to a different prompt. So say it's not at Prologton, but say you were at Prologton and you don't want to go to Fair Sister Hill or the Hideaway Snug, you could just transport yourself with the doorknob to Wild Rose Wood, for example. You can't do that because the doorknob is not going to be at Prologton. But wherever you find it, you can then use it to transport yourself somewhere else. We then have the Book of Tales. So the Book of Tales has come from Sisters of the Lost Marsh. There is a book of folklore, and the girls in the book are it has meaning for them in there. So we have the Book of Tales. And with this, you read an encouraging tale and challenge your destiny. So if you have this, you can swap one prompt for another. So you don't need to move from where you are. You can just swap one out. So wherever you are, you can be like, I'm at Prologton. I'm not going to be at Prologton. But you're like, I don't want to read a book with a map. I want to read the Locked Tower prompt, and I want to read a book that has travelled to me. So you could just stay at Prologton and just read a completely different prompt, carry on your merry way, and you would tick that place off. We have a seed, which is from Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, because they do a lot of farming there and there's a lot of seeds. So this is a special seed. So if you find this seed on your journey, you have been digging deep, working hard and growing. And for that, you get to have one book that counts for 2 prompts. So you can double up on a book. And it doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter if it's not in the journey. You can tick off those 2 places on your way to the City of Party. And that will work for you. And our final item is a red cloak, which comes from Wilder Than Midnight. So if you find this cloak, you can put it on and become a legend, and you can leap over and skip a prompt on your journey. So again, imagine you found it at Prologton, which you won't do because we all know that none of them are going to be hidden at Prologton. You put on the red cloak. I don't want to read, I don't want to do Fair Sister Hill. So I'm just going to leap over that one and go straight to the Logan land, or straight to Wild Rose Wood or Locked Tower. So you don't even need to, if you wanted to be doing a particular path, you can just knock one book off that path because you can just skip it and you can just carry on. All of these things are going to be in the information sheet in the Google Docs, so you can refresh yourself. You can also ask me questions in the Discord as well. I'm just going to wrap it up a little bit in terms of the simplicity of it, and then I'm going to be going and explaining a little bit more about the points, so that those who want to do a little bit more can do. So do ask me. You can ask me any questions in the comments. I have got an email where you can ask me anything. You can email me if you want to. That's all in the description box. No, it's not the description box. It's in my channel information. But all of this should all be in the description box with the Google documents. But if I have missed anything crucial, you're like, I don't know what this, then please let me know and I can then answer you in the comments or however you want to contact me. But I very much look forward to joining in this readathon in July. I will be doing some sprints. I will let you know on my community page, like as and when they're coming, and also in Discord. So thank you very much. If you feel this is enough information, you don't want to hear about points, you don't want to hear about any printouts or anything like that, you can just toddle off now and that is completely fine. Everyone else, I'm going to get a drink of water because I've been talking quite a lot, and then I'm going to carry on. Okay. If you joined in Journeyathon in 2023, have a look back at what you read. And then you can work out how many points you earned from that readathon. I have a graphic of a points table. I also have a video where I show you in much more depth about what the points mean. I think that was my wrap up of Journeyathon. So I'll link that in the description box as well, so you can go through it. I will give you a rough insight now. But also I spoke in my June-ish chat TBR chatter with where I gave you a little bit of information about the catch-up bingo board. So if you want to be earning points for this Journeyathon to buy things at the shop, including the backpack that you need to put the magical items in, you can use the bingo board to give yourself some books. So obviously we are pretty much near the end of June now, but if you want to squeeze in a middle grade, you can instantly earn 10 points by reading a middle grade. That is the central square on the bingo board, so that would sort you out. But you can also, if you read any middle grade in May, you could look at those, see if they tick off any squares on the bingo board, and you can count them for that to give yourself points. I just want to make sure everyone's got points if you want to do this bit. But like I said, there's no police. I'm not really going to be watching. If you have 0 points and you just want to give yourself a load of items, then no one is actually going to care. It's just for you. It's just for fun. So the points that you get depends on how much you anticipate reading. So if you think you were only ever going to be able to read one middle grade book, one book for this readathon because you've got lots of other things going on, that's completely fine. If you just are someone that reads one book a month, that's completely fine. So that book would be worth 10 points. So that's that book sorted. If you think you're going to read 2 books, first book that you read will be worth 1 point, but then the second book would be worth 10, so you'd get 11 points in total. So the idea is that the final book you read for the readathon is worth a lot because it's working towards your goal, if that's what you're wanting to be doing. If you feel the point system is going to stress you out, then just don't worry about it, and you can just add them after you've done it. So if you thought, oh, I might read 4, but if I can read 6, then that'd be awesome, and you end up reading 3, really doesn't matter. You would get a point for the first 2 books and then 10 points for the last, so you get 12 altogether. So don't worry too much about it if planning and hitting goals is something that freaks you out. You can work around it. So for books 1 to 4, if you're reading about 4 books, the first 3 books will be worth 1 point, the last will be worth 10. If you're reading sort of maybe 5, 9 books, then your first 3 books are going to be worth 1 point. Then books 4 to 8 are going to be worth 2, and then your final book, that 9th book, will be worth 10. So basically, if you read more than 5, if you read 5 books or more, your first 3 are 1 point, and then everything after that will be 2 points, and then your final book will be 10 points. There is a way for more points. If you read any one of these lovely inspiration books here, so that's Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, Sisters of the Lost March, The Insiders, or Wilder Than Midnight, you'll get 5 points for reading an inspiration book. And for Wilder Than Midnight, there is a sequel, Softer Than Starlight, that would also give you 5 points. For Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, there are novellas and other novels within the Logan family saga, so any Logan family saga book will give you 5 points for reading it. So there you go, you have a whole different way of getting the points. So thinking about what points you earned last year or from the bingo, so that's what you will get from reading this book. So from this year, if you read books this year, you accumulate points for next year to spend. So I'm now going to talk about what you would spend those points this year. So we haven't started the journey yet. You don't know where you're going. You haven't made your plan. You're just at Prologton. You've got your book with your map. You're trying to work out your journey. You're going to pop into the Encompass Store in Prologton. And in there, you could buy a backpack. So the points you have, they are all worth a point with an E on the end to mark it as magical currency. There are 4 points to a disc. There are 4 discs to an arrow and 4 arrows to a map. The backpack is worth 2 discs, 2 points. And that's a total of 10 points. So if you have 10 points, you've bought a backpack. Hooray for you. You could also buy a stove to heat your food and keep you going on your journey. And you could also buy a pack of cards because you get bored very easily, and you want to play a game. Or you might want to make friends along the way, and, inviting them to a card game is always a fun way to make friends. It worked in 6th form. So for these, the stove or the pack of cards are both worth individually 2 discs. That's 8 points. So if you have 8 points, you could buy one of those. If you have 18 points, you could buy a backpack and then a stove or a pack of cards. It's totally up to you. The final items in the shop are a lantern and a sleeping bag. Both of these individually are worth 1 arrow. That's 16 points. So if you have 16 points, you could buy a sleeping bag, or you could buy a backpack and just leave those 6 points to sit there ready for next year if you want to. Or you could quickly go and do a catch-up bingo map and give yourself some more points and buy some more things. It's up to you. So basically, there's 10 points for a backpack, 8 points for the stove, 8 points for the pack of cards, 16 points for the lantern, 16 points for the sleeping bag. So decide which items you want to spend your points on, and then on the 30th of June, I'll be revealing which backpack bonuses they unlock. So, I've done that bit. I've done the points. What was I going to talk about next? Oh yeah, the bits and pieces. So, along with the, I have little graphics of tickets for your travel that you could print off, screenshot, add into Canva to make your own little graphic bits, have fun with, whatever you like. But if you wanted to kind of like mark the books you're reading and what prompts you're reading them for, I do have little graphic templates for those. This is from last year because I haven't finished the drawings and made these ones for this year, yada yada. So it looks like this. It's just a little printout, and this is your passport for Journeyathon. So you have your prompt. So you've got you're going to Prologton, and that prompt would be read a book with a map or read a book with travel. And then you've got a little space here where you could put a picture of the book cover, and you've got a little circle here that you could passport stamp because you've gone through it. You've done that one, you could tick it off or you could stamp it, or I've made some little tokens with the themes of each inspiration book, so you could use one of those if you wanted to as well. It's totally up to you. So I will have this available with all the different places, and I will make one with a magic path prompt, water path, all of those different things. So all the way up to the city of Farye here. So I will make those ones, and also I'll put a blank one in there so you could play around and make your own one as well for your own specific journey. I also have a reading log as well. Again, it's on the Google Docs, and this is just a graphic where you can write the book title, what you thought of it, the date you arrived at this place for this prompt, and the date you left, so you know when you finished it. And it's just a fun way of sharing things. So if you wanted to post it on your Instagram, if you wanted to use it to talk about in Discord, it's just a little extra bit in there. I think I've covered everything now. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. I hope it all makes sense. Please tell me if it doesn't. There will be the graphic with all the paths marked out, and then each individual path should you want to follow it that way and find it easier. I hope you have fun. I hope there's enough of flexibility in here for you to find middle grade books that you really want to read. And like I said, if just reading one middle grade is enough for you a month, you can add other books in there to be the different things. It's completely up to you. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this. And I meant to thank them earlier, but it went out of my brain. I think I was a bit overwhelmed by everything I needed to say in here. But I really want to give an absolutely special shout out to the Discord members who talk to me about this on a regular basis, who act really enthusiastic. And that is just so helpful to me because it has been hard to kind of pull it together. As you see, I've still got some drawings that I haven't finished. But I really want to do it because it's just so much fun. It gives me so much joy. I think it's a really fun outlet to have. So I really wanted to do it. And it's just delightful to know that there's definitely some people that are going to be joining me on this journey. So I really want to give a big thank you to Tiffany and Stacy and Lucia and Kelli for remaining enthusiastic for this project, and particularly Tiffany and Stacy. Like every time I post something about it, you usually comment on it, and you've also been commenting on the videos that I've made talking about Journeyathon. So that really does mean a lot. It really helps me to keep going with this because I'm like, at least other people are enjoying it as well. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to give you a big shout out. And so thank you all four of you for the recommendations that you've given for this and the enjoyment that you've shown for it. It really means a lot. So thank you. I hope you all have fun. I hope you've got your maps and compasses ready, and I will be doing a recommendations video soon for books for different prompts. Happy reading, everybody.